Jai Swaminarayan, dear student. In the previous video, we were discussed the first four questions of the exercise. Now, in today's video, we will discuss the remaining question of the exercise. So let's start with the question number 5 of the exercise. So question number 5 of the exercise: a driver of a car traveling at a 52 km per hour applies the brake and accelerates uniformly in the opposite direction. The car stops in a 5 seconds. A driver of the car traveling at a 52 km per hour, that is the initial speed of the car, is given to you. After applying a brake, the driver applies the brake and accelerates uniformly in the opposite direction so that the speed of the car is decreases and the car stops in a 5 second, right? Another driver going at a 3 km per hour in the another car applies his brake slowly and stop in a 10 second. So driver of the another car moving with the speed of a 3 km per hour, right? And he applies the brake slowly and stop in a 10 second, right? On the same graph paper, plot the speed versus time graph for the both the car, right? First question is draw the graph of the speed versus time. Here the speed of both the car is given to you. Speed of the first car is 52 km per hour, right? And the speed of the another car is a 3 km per hour. And after applying a brake, the speed of the car is decreases and stop in a 5 second, right? That means the final speed of the car is 0 and the final speed of both the car is 0. On the same graph paper, we need to plot the speed versus time graph. How we can plot the speed versus time graph, right? And another question is which of the two car travels for further after the brake apply. So here we need to find the distance traveled by the both the car after applying a brake. So first of all, dear student, first car has the initial speed 52 km per hour and the car will stop in a 5 second. Initial speed of the second car is a 3 km per hour and after 10 seconds the car will be stopped. Draw the plot a speed versus time graph. So how we can draw a speed versus time graph? On the x-axis we take a time t and on the y-axis we take a speed. So first draw the x-axis. On the x-axis we take a time t, 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, 4 second, 5 second, 6 second, 7 second, 8 second, 9, 10 second, 11 and 12 second. On the y-axis we take a speed v in a kilometer per hour, 10 kilometer, 20 kilometer, 30 kilometer, 40, 50 and 60. So first of all indicate the initial speed of both the car. At the time t equal to 0, the initial speed of the car A is a 52 kilometer per hour. So we indicate this point 52 kilometer per hour. And at the time t is equal to 0, the initial speed of the car is a 3 kilometer per hour. So indicate this point C indicates the initial speed of the car is a 3 kilometer per hour. So now first car stops in a 5 second. That means its a final velocity is 0 after 5 second. So first car stops after a 5 second. So final velocity is 0 after a 5 second at this point B. So if we draw a graph of the first car, it is from A, that is the initial speed is a 52 km per hour, and after a 5 second the speed of the car A is 0 at a point B. So we draw like this straight line, right? Now for the second car, the initial speed of the second car is a 3 km per hour. So we indicate the starting point of the car is the graph is 3 km per hour, and after 10 second it will stop. So at the 10 second the final velocity of the car is a car B is a 0. So we draw a straight line like this, right? So understand how we can draw the speed versus time graph for the both car. So પહેલી કારની ઇનિશિયલ સ્પીડ કેટલી છે 52 કિલોમીટર પર અવર, અને 5 સેકન્ડ પછી એ સ્પીડ શું થઈ જાય છે 0 થઈ જાય છે. તો પહેલી કાર માટે ફર્સ્ટ કાર ફોર ધ ફર્સ્ટ કાર પહેલા સ્ટાર્ટિંગમાં t ઇક્વલ ટુ 0 આગળ શું આપણે પોઈન્ટ બનાવવાનો એ પોઈન્ટ it is at a 52 kilometer per hour, and after 5 seconds, so at the 5 second we take a speed of the car is 0, we take a point B, draw this line, that this one is the speed time graph for the car A. Second car, initial speed of the second car is a 3 kilometer per hour, and final speed of the second car is 0 after a 10 second. So starting from 3 kilometer per hour, at the 10 second the speed of the car is 0. So understand how we can draw the speed time graph. So now next question is, which of the two car travels the farther after the brakes were applied? So we need to find the distance traveled by the both the car after brakes were applied, right? How we calculate the distance traveled by the object from the speed time graph or a velocity time graph? So how we can calculate the distance? The area covered by the speed time graph or a velocity time graph on the time axis give us the area distance traveled by the object, right? So for the first car, the distance traveled by the first car is the area of triangle OAB, right? And to calculate the distance traveled by the second car, we calculate a area of triangle OCD, right? Both triangles are right angle triangles. So what is the formula of the area of the right angle triangles? So first car, the distance traveled by the first car before coming to rest is the area of triangle OAB. It is equal to 1/2 into base OB and heights OA. So what is the value of OB here? So here B is at a 5 second and O is at a 0. So we get the value of OB is a 5 and value of OA. A is at a 52 km per hour and O is at 0. So we get the value of 52 kilometer per hour, right? So 1/2 into OB is a 5 second and OA is a 52 kilometer per hour. So this 52 kilometer per hour we need to convert in a meter per second. How we convert kilometer per hour into meter per second? 52 multiplied by 1000 divided by 3600, or 52 multiplied by 5 by 18, we get the meter per second. So if we calculate this, right, we get the answer 325 divided by 9, or we can say that 36.11 meter. So the distance traveled by the first car is a 36.11 meter, right? So now how we can calculate the distance traveled by the second car? Similarly, we can calculate the distance traveled by the second car is the area of triangle OCD, right? So 1 half into base OD and height is a OC. So value of OD is a 10 second and value of OC is a 3 kilometer per hour. So we put a value in the equation. The distance traveled by the second car before coming to rest is the area of triangle OCD. So it is equal to 1 half into OD into OA. So 1 half, the value of OD is 10 second into value of OA is 3 kilometer per hour. So we need to convert this 3 kilometer per hour into meter per second. How we convert? Multiply by 1000 by 3600 or multiply by 5 by 18. So if we calculate that, we get a value of distance traveled by the second car is a 4.16 meter, right? So first car travels a further 36.11 meter and the second car travels a distance of the 4.16 meter, right? Understand this example? How we calculate? Just I revise once again. How we can plot a speed time graph? First draw a speed time graph and from this speed time graph we can calculate the distance traveled by both the car with the area of triangle, right? Distance traveled by the first car by calculating the area of triangle OAB and distance traveled by the second car we calculate the area of triangle OCD, right? Understand this example? Now question number 6. Figure shows the distance time graph for three objects A, B and C. Study the graph and answer the following question. Right? Here the graph is given to you. Which graph is given to you? Distance time graph is given to you for the three different objects. Object A, object B and object C. Study this graph from the distance time graph, right? If the distance time graph is linear, the motion is a uniform motion. So all the three object is moving with the uniform motion, right? So what is the answer the following question? So what is the first question? Which of the three is a traveling faster? Right? Second question is, are all the three ever at the same point on the road? How far the C travels when B pass A and how far B travels by the time it passes to C, right? So here from the distance time graph, first question is which of the three is the traveling faster? So dear student, the slope of the distance time graph give us the average speed of the vehicles, right? So from this graph we can say that the B covers the more distance in a less time. B covers the more distance in a less time. So B is the faster compared to C and A. So B is faster. After that the C is faster than A. B is faster than C and A. C is faster than A. And the smaller speed. A has a very smaller speed. Right? Now, second question. Are all the three ever at the same point on the road? Yes. From this graph, we can say that all the 3 points are at the same distance. So, all of them never come at the same point at the distance. Right? All of them. From this graph, we can say that these three graphs cannot meet at any point on the graph. So we can say that all of them never comes at the same point. But yes, we can say that B and A meet at this point and A and C meet at this point. So at the time this point the of A and C meet, and at this point B and C meet, but all of them never comes at the same point. But if instead of this, if all the graph are intersect at the one point, we can say that it meets at that point, right? Question number C. How far has a C traversed when B passes A? Right? So, according to this graph, each small division shows the 0.57 kilometer. So, from this graph, each small division shows the 0.57 kilometer. Right? So, A is passing B at a point S. So, here A is passing B at a point S, this point, right? On the line. So if we see the graph, so how we calculate the how far the C travel when A cross B. So at the point shows the 9.14 kilometer. So if we considering a point this, right, it will be a 9.14 kilometer. Each division has a 0.57 kilometer. So if we calculate the division and multiply that, we get the 9.14 kilometer. So dear student, here B is at a point S, which is in a line point P, as shows about a 9.14 kilometer. So B travels a distance of a 9.14 kilometer minus 0.57 each division multiplied by 3.75. So we get the approximately 7 kilometer. So when the A passes B, C travels at a 7 kilometer distance. So when the B passes C, the C travels at a distance 7 kilometer, right? How much distance? So when the B passes, see here from the graph, when the B passes the A, so B and A meet at this point. So from this point, if we take a line further, it will intersect at a seat this point. And if we extend this line on the horizontal, it will be at a 7 kilometer, right? So from this graph, we can understand that when the B passes the A, the C is at a distance 7 kilometer, right? See here in the graph, when the B passes A, we get the point like this, at this point. And if we extend this line at the on the graph C, it intersects the graph at this point, right? So if we extend this line on the horizontal, we get a 7 kilometer distance. Now question number 7. A ball is gently dropped from a height of the 20 meter. If its velocity increases uniformly at a rate of 10 meter per second square, right? With what velocity will it strikes the ground? After what time it will strike the ground? So here a ball is dropped of a height 20 meter, right? So the distance of the ball, distance or a height of fall s is equal to 20 meter. So it dropped from this height, So the initial velocity of the ball u is equal to 0, right? So what we want to calculate? We want to calculate what velocity will it strikes the ground. So what will be the final velocity? So for that, the velocity is increasing uniformly at a rate of 10 meter per second square, right? So here the acceleration is given to you 10 meter per second square. So dear student, here the initial velocity of the ball u is taken 0. Distance or a height of the fall s is equal to 20 meter, and acceleration a is equal to 10 meter per second square. So according to the distance velocity relation, 2as is equal to v square minus u square. So from that, v square is equal to 2as plus u square. U is taking as a 0, 2 acceleration a is 10, and s is equal to 20 meter. So we get the answer v is equal to 400 meter per second, right? V square is equal to 400, and from that v is equal to under root of 400, that is a 20 meter per second. So the final velocity of the ball v is equal to 20 meter per second, right? Now time taken by the ball to strikes, that is t is equal to v minus u divided by t. V is the 20 meter per second, u is the 0 divided by 10, we get the answer 2 seconds. So the ball will take a 2 seconds to reach on the ground, right? So how to calculate this? Example, understand, right? So a ball dropped from a height of the 20 meter. So we take a distance s is equal to 20 meter. Initial velocity of the ball u is equal to 0, and rate of increase of velocity, that is the acceleration, a is equal to 10 meter per second. So by the formula of 2as is equal to v square minus u square. V square is equal to 2as plus u square. But here u is equal to 0. So we take a 2 into 10 into 20. V square is equal to 400 meter per second. So v is equal to under root of 400. We get the answer 20 meter per second. And time taken by the ball to strike v minus u divided by t. Final velocity is 20 minus initial velocity is 0 divided by time t 10 second. We get acceleration a is equal to 10. We get the 2 second.